I've considered making YouTube for a long time, and I guess I don't really have an excuse of why I don't. I have the time, I have the gear. Maybe it's the classic, I don't know what to talk about, or that no one would care what I say. But you have to remind yourself, or I have to remind myself, that there's always someone ahead of you, there's always someone behind you, always someone that would give up everything to be in the position you're in, um, or maybe someone that already came through the position you were in and is beyond that now. But thinking you're going to be the perfect answer for everyone, or even one person, seems a little crazy. But at the same time, with the number of people in the world, it's a little more crazy to think that you wouldn't be the perfect creator for someone, at least one person. So I'm testing out this little setup. I'm a photographer. I love gear. I have too much of it for things that I don't really need. And the camera I'm filming on is actually one of those. It is the DJI Pocket 3. And I never really had intention of doing video, so this was never on my radar. But I recently bought a Canon G1X Mark III for the photography purposes. It's a crop sensor and literally a pocket-sized camera. But I ended up getting rid of it. And I think the big reason is I already have two full-frame cameras. And now that I'm used to that, that's kind of all I want to see with my photos. Or I'll just use my phone or even this pocket camera. While the photos were really good out of that G1X, especially in an area that I wouldn't be allowed to bring my big cameras in, I also realized it just wasn't necessarily that important. Like with a lot of other things, they got edited, they got posted, got a couple likes, and that's gonna be the last we look at them. So I kind of shifted my focus towards this camera that is a little easier to just pop out and record some thoughts, but also do something that actually could have some benefit towards my business down the road. Doing street photos, or in this most recent case, or this most recent example, the photos of medieval times, which was great, by the way, but the photos don't really apply to business at all. And it's cool to have for me. I enjoy doing it. I got into photography because I enjoy it, and I love the process and seeing the results. But the fact that we just post it and then kind of forget about it, the fact that it doesn't really apply to my business in any way other than, I guess, reminding people that I'm a photographer. If it's something more important, then I'll have my cameras, my lenses, and they would have done a noticeably better job, but those files were still way better than my phone would have been. And again, I could bring that camera in, whereas my R8 or my R5, I can't bring those into certain venues unless you get press and credentials and all that jazz. But all this rambling to say I'm trying out this Pocket 3 in a couple different scenarios. And when it comes to YouTube's really the only social media I consume. I don't. I have the others on my phone, but if you go look at them, you'll see how kind of sporadic I am at even posting, and consuming is actually even less than that. Generally, I'll pop it open to see if there's any notifications. I might swipe 2 or 3 times, and then I'm bored. Whereas YouTube, I probably have 20 different YouTube videos saved and open as tabs on my computer at any given moment, because they're all things that I want to watch but take time, because they're generally longer form content. So now recently I started thinking, why am I not creating something? Even if it's just for me, even if I never post this, the act of creating videos and doing it for fun, not thinking about it in so much as like for my business or for becoming a creator or anything like that, but like the fun of it, the fun of getting to use this new gear, test things out. I have a problem with researching too much, so I'm sure it'll lead to more of that. But using camera transitions, not because it helps with viewership or anything, especially 5 minutes into a video of me rambling about nothing. But I have some cool ideas that would just be fun to do, fun to think about, plan, shoot, like all of it. It just sounds fun. So I think that's kind of the realization I came to with doing YouTube is even if it didn't lead to business, even if it didn't lead to a following, which I'm still a little unsure if that's something I would even enjoy, but doing it for fun, documenting for me. There was a recent, not really recent, there was an Alex Hormozi story, and he talked about documenting your life, your struggles, and even if you don't post it, it's really nice to have those documented for yourself or for your family. And the example he was giving was he took a screenshot of his bank account with $1,000 to his name, and that was after having multiple successful gyms. And apologies if you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, but if you're on YouTube, you've probably seen him. So multiple successful gyms, lost it all, had $1,000 to his name, and screenshotted that as kind of this low point in his life and kind of vowed to never get back to that again. And as I tell that story, I think of multiple instances where I have felt that way. And you think things are going great, and then they crash, and then you build back up, and then they crash, and then you build back up, and then they crash. And it would be pretty cool to have that documented. Now, side note, my air conditioning in the studio just kicked on. I have no idea how much worse this audio is going to be, or if it's going to be just fine and I can save it. We'll figure that out later. But back to the story. The thought of documenting, for me even, I probably will post it because you never know. Like I said before, it's with a billion people, multiple billions of people, it's bound to connect with somebody that's in the same position or maybe is a year behind where I'm at now. But going into it with the thought of doing it for me, where I can look back and kind of see these peaks and valleys in creating content, in creating business, in personal stuff, it'd be pretty cool. And I kind of wish technology would have come sooner, or maybe like I came later, in the sense that it would be really cool to be able to go back and see just raw footage of my dad or my grandparents documenting their lives. It's a little sad to think about, but like it's going to happen. So how cool would it be to go back and have them talking to me through this camera and telling what they probably would consider nothing stories, right? Just daily life. This happened today, that happened today. To them in that moment probably meant absolutely nothing. Maybe down the road it started meaning more, but that one instance, I feel like that'd be so cool to be able to go back and watch that and have them kind of talking to me. So now I think that's kind of the approach I'm taking. And again, for me, for now, we'll see.